Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Super Game Brothers podcast, a weekly podcast all about board games and video games and sometimes a little bit of golf. My name is David, and I'm joined by my younger brother, Devin. Devin, how are you doing on this Thursday afternoon?
There's usually a bit of golf in the conversation.
There has been lately.
Maybe we won't talk about... Never mind, it's on the list.
It is on the list. We could skip the golf line there. But
no, it's... I'm doing well. Got my taxes done. So I feel quite a bit of peace. Feel a lot of freedom from that burden on my mind, which, you know what I should do every year is just get it done first thing.
That's what I do.
Why not? It's not that long.
It's true. You think it's going to be take longer to file than it does. I don't know if getting it done early... If you're getting a refund, getting it done early is kind of nice. But if you're not, I feel like then you just have extra time before April 15th to like fester and get mad. And you're like, I paid them $3,000 2 months early. Why'd I do that? But on the same token, if you wait till the 15th and you got a refund, you're like, they owed me $4,000 and they gave it to me 3 months later and I don't get interest. What's wrong with that? It's basically highway robbery all the way around. So yeah, taxes are fun. Well, I'm glad that's done, Devin. Hopefully that's the last annoying thing you have to do in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else annoying I had to do except I had to put gas in my car today, which wasn't my favorite thing, but we just did a half tank, so.
Yep, that's what I did yesterday too.
That number goes up fast. You're like, I wish I could make money this fast.
Yeah, you know? For reals. Yeah, that is true. If I could make money as fast as I could spend it, that's the dream.
It would be ideal, yes. Any other struggles this week? I think we probably talked about it last week. I've been watching our siblings. Spent the last week watching our siblings. Oh yeah, we did talk about it. The grocery store.
Right.
Having difficulties there. So after that week, parents are back. They are sick. They're about to go on another vacation.
That's what happens when you leave the country.
Oh man, yeah. Our mom was like, I've never been on a flight with so many people who needed to cough so many times.
And didn't they fly first class?
Yeah, near it at least.
And
they talked about how like the air on a plane always recirculates. Everyone's just kissing in the air pretty much.
Can of sardines.
Yeah, and imagine a 10-hour flight. The amount of air coming out of each person in and out. At what point have you exhausted all the good stuff in the air? Right,
and you've probably inhaled quite a bit of methane.
I don't know what that is, but probably.
It's that fart juice.
Ew, ew.
I was trying to keep it, more mild.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm not a fan of flying. I've also taken that flight, Salt Lake City to Paris, a couple of times when I lived in Denmark for a couple of years. That was the flight path we took. Planes must be a little faster now because it was 12 hours when I did it. But yeah, not fun. I don't like it. I feel like I need to be on the ground. I don't like being in the air.
Yeah, we like to be on the ground, not underwater, not in the sky.
It's true. Yep.
That's why teleportation is the best superpower.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you don't have to do the traveling portion. Imagine every vacation is just a flick of your fingers. You pack up, you build a portal in front of you, walk through the portal, and say, what's up?
What's up?
Oh.
You don't even have to pack, because when it's bedtime, you could just portal back to your bathroom, brush your teeth, and then portal back to wherever you were.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Imagine, like, the docks at Costco. You just portal to the back docks, you just grab what you need at Costco. They're like, all right, you're good to go. We have your credit card on file. Portal back home.
Would be nice.
One day.
Think we'll be able... Yeah. Do you think we will ever be able... Those words came out in some jumble. To figure out how to do teleportation. There's lots of famous horror movies about humans trying to figure that out, like The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. And getting like all of our particles from one spot to another seems unlikely to me.
No, I mean, they talk about like black holes and,
Yeah.
it bends time and reality and all things and
Yeah.
whatever else. And
Mm-hmm.
I can be here and now I'm here and it's so far away. But since it bent and I hit it at this right angle, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think probably in this world we're figuring that out, but I do think probably we're going to figure out AI robots to basically run the world. Because it's just going to turn into Wall-E, like we said.
Yeah.
They're going to see the convenience of things and be like, that's more efficient. But I don't think I'll be alive for that.
Yeah, I don't know that I will either. I would like to float around on a hover chair and drink a smoothie, though. That sounds nice.
Imagine watching a podcast of 2 AI robots and they're just like trying to be like, to have like humor.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something beautiful to the human element, but
No, there is, yeah. Humans are creative and real. So I agree. How do we get on that?
I don't know. Did you see the new Cybertruck?
There's a new one?
I saw a concept, unless it was fake. There's a lot of fake
There is.
stuff. They're like, oh, this is coming out. I'm like, no way. And then it never comes out.
Yeah.
But they're going more close to like a pickup truck looking thing. Yeah, you should look it up.
I'm going to look. I just want to see if that's
completely different from what the current Cybertruck looks like, if it's real.
Let's see. I'm just going to go right to Tesla.
Oh, I don't know that it's going to be on there.
Where did you find it? On like Reddit?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I just feel like it was like too far in the future to be on their site.
Oh.
Like it was like so concept.
Was it like that?
No, that looks like a spaceship.
Okay.
Oh, dang. It must have been fake. Forget it. I don't know. It looked cool from what I saw, but
there you go.
I mean, they're making so many fake images nowadays. Someone cropped me on a velociraptor today.
That's true. You probably saw it was probably an ad for Temu. It was the Temu Cybertruck.
It was $3,000, so it made sense.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? You'll order a Dodge Ram on Temu for like $4 or $5 and it's like 70% the size of the actual truck. I think it works. That's got to be quite the experience in that thing.
Yeah, you can ride it at the go-kart arena, but not on the highway.
Oh yeah, you can't license it. No way.
Yeah, Temu is it's a vibe, but I've never bought anything. Have you bought anything from it?
Our brother has.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah, and they actually sent us stuff, and it was fun. I was like, oh, this is cool, and it was light up squirt guns, and there was one that was like a machine gun, but it was water gun, and all battery powered, and they all worked. I don't remember what else was ordered from there. And then I told people that we did that, and they acted like everyone bad on Earth knew where I lived now, and they were coming for me. They're like, oh, you should have never trusted them. They're coming for your house.
The CCP's got your information now. Yeah,
the CCP, absolutely.
They're coming for your TEMU. Your CCP, and the CPU, the GPU, all of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a fear of that type of stuff.
No, I feel like everyone has all my data already.
Oh, 100%. As long as you can't get into my financial stuff, I don't really care. What are you going to do when you go, oh, he lives there? And it's like, okay, well, my neighbors all live right next door too. Yeah. Do you care that they also live there? Why does it matter where I live?
Yeah, what can they do with an address?
I'm just a username online, too.
Yeah, they need your credit card number tied to the zip code. Then they can start, making purchases, but I don't know. Yeah. I just kind of think that I'd like to keep, my data safe from, Facebook.
Enemies
like Facebook. But I think they've already got it all, and I'm too far, it's done. It's over. So.
Yeah, it's too far in. I swear, back to the taxes topic, I swear every year they just know where I am. I'm like, I never input my new address. I didn't even know you had to tell anyone you're moving. If you move, you're supposed to tell people.
Yeah, you need like a new driver's license. Probably have to do the tax something. I'm not an accountant, as you can tell.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know adulting things. Adulting is kind of brutal. I feel like once I'm to that point, I'm gonna be like, do we have insurance? I don't know. Does that just show up? Like, does it happen around Christmas? Does it come to your house, or what does it do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I had to reorder my medication, which is a syringe that I have to take once every 2 months, and that single syringe is $24,000. So
is it made out of zebra?
It is, yeah, zebra, part unicorn, and you'd have to chop up 15 axolotls.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How?
I don't know.
Like, is it an infinity stone? What do we do?
I better be turning into Thanos. You know, then I could snap my fingers and get rid of half of the executives of Big Pharma.
I don't know what that is, but heck yeah.
I don't know.
Go team.
Something.
Speaking of Thanos, we are about 2/3 of our way through our Marvel marathon. We just finished
2/3 now. You've made a lot of progress.
We've watched 21 movies.
Wasn't it 9 last week?
Probably.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so we have finished all of the movies. You got all the Ant-Mans, all of the Iron Mans, Thor 2, Thor Ragnarok, so many of them. And they're all in their specific order, obviously. And we're almost done with Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then it is the last 2 Avengers movies back to back. It's going to be the big shebang. But there are movies after the Avengers movies, like Shang-Chi and Ant-Man Quantumania and Thor Love and Thunder. And so many after that. And then Deadpool's at the end.
Okay. I was curious if I've seen any since Endgame. Haven't seen that Wasp one. Or
you haven't seen Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi, nope. Or Deadpool, or I think you said one more.
Ant-Man?
I haven't seen the latest
Have you seen the Eternals?
Haven't seen the Eternals.
The Marvels?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen anything?
No.
Oh.
Nope. When Endgame was done, I was like, all right, I think I've seen them all.
Oh, man, I could live in that world. Oh.
Right. It's pretty fun.
And I'll tell you what, if you're going to watch, is that a franchise? Is that what you would call this? I don't know.
Cinematic universe.
If you're going to watch a cinematic universe, you do it in order.
Yeah, that is
Anytime we've had any questions of, wait, how did that happen between this movie and the next movie? We just Google it. We get a quick answer. And I could explain this universe way better than I ever could watching them by their release date.
Yeah.
It's all making sense now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, 2/3 into that. It's been a blast.
Got a PhD in the MCU.
Yeah, trying to get a job with it. It's been weird.
Yeah. Yeah, Marvel might hire you. I don't know.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
If they were just like, watch all of our movies every day.
Yeah. Well, in a different cinematic universe, I haven't been watching very much, but I have continued The Chosen, that TV show about the life of Jesus and his apostles. We've only finished 1 season. I think there's 4 out. The 5th one is being made right now, and there's going to be a 6th and a 7th, I think. It's continues to be excellent. If you're Christian, I think it's the best portrayal of Jesus, in my opinion. I think he is the kindest and like most authentic. He does an excellent job. Great show. Won't say much more about that because I think it's excellent, and I've talked about it a little bit.
You had a golf
last
tournament.
thing. Yeah,
we
were gonna skip the golf, but I'm in a golf league, and I had my first event in the tournament. Oof. And depending on how you place in the event, you get points, and then at the end of the season, when we go to the final major event, based on how many points you have, you get like an advantage in strokes at that last event, and then whoever wins gets like a little bit of money, just a few million,
Wow.
Yeah. So anyways, I did pretty good. I got like 10 points, which I
don't know if that's high or low, but heck yeah.
Hey, it's better than 0, which is what I thought I would get, so I'm okay with it. I also just wanted to shout something out as we move into like video game talk. Yeah, maybe we can go to the screen and show it. I do have it down here on the table too, so I thought that might be fun. But I got this cool controller for my kids. And now I might use it more than them, but they wanted a controller to be able to play the Switch better, away from the TV, because both, like all four of our Joy-Con, the controllers that slide on, have stick drift, and this is the pretty much widely regarded the best device for that. It's like $50. This white version was on sale for $40. It's called the Nitro Deck.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, you plug your Switch right into it. Makes it look cooler. It kind of
That's been on the table this whole time.
Yeah.
What the? Where have I been looking?
I don't know. But it's excellent. It plays really well. It connects in the bottom here through USB-C, so it just thinks it's a wired controller. But it still has rumble, and the sticks are Hall effect sticks, like, so they shouldn't get drift, and like the D-pad feels great. They have a version 2.0, but the right thumbstick is above the buttons on that one, and I don't like that. I like the buttons above the joystick. So we got this one. Really, really excellent. Can't recommend it enough if you play the Switch. You can also like charge while you're playing. There's a USB-C port in the back. Has a better kickstand than the Switch does. 4 back buttons. Excellent.
Wow, yeah. Shout out Nitro Deck. If you want to find it, go to crkd.gg.
Yeah, they have like a cool website and everything.
And the biggest thing that's standing out to me is that you paid for that, and that's half the price of Joy-Cons.
It is, and it's so much better.
Wow.
It just feels great. Obviously, if you were going to play like Mario Party and some of those mini games need the Joy-Con, you would probably need them in order to like do the motion, whatever. But if you're playing any other games, like what are they playing here? Smash Brothers, Rocket League, Minecraft, Kirby, a little bit of mini golf.
Oh shoot, Zelda. You find the fun tech. Let me see that.
It's pretty cool. So anyways, wanted to give a shout out to the, CRKD Nitro Deck. I really do think it's awesome. I'm going to go to the screen really quick, just so I can show you what the website looks like. If I remembered to pull up Chrome here. I think that I did. Yeah, here we go. Nitro Deck, right there, accept cookies. And we're just about there, I think. There it is. So that's what the bad boy looks like. It's very cool. No. And then we're getting newsletter. Get out of here. They have a bunch of other controllers too, and they have this in a bunch of different colors. It's awesome. Very, very cool unit.
Wow.
So if you have a Switch, I probably should have like waited and gotten one for the Switch 2, but I think it's going to be a while before I get a Switch 2. So my kids wanted one of these. They're not really like super worried about Switch 2 at this moment. They're just really into Smash Brothers and Minecraft. So big shout out to the Nitro Deck. It's very, very cool. All right, Devin. Well, I think that's probably, is that everything? Is that our intro?
I think so.
That's the intro. So we'll jump right into the show with just a little, I guess, shout out first. I'm not going to pull it up on the computer like I normally do, but check out our Patreon at patreon.com/supergamebrothers. It's how we keep the lights on. You can get our podcast a few days early, get some extra perks and goodies over there. And then we have a giveaway going on at supergamebrothers.com. I think it's a bundle of 5 or 6 different board games or a gaming gift card, which is always, top up that PlayStation Network wallet or something.
Absolutely.
It's a good time. Alrighty. Jumping into new games, 2 subscription services. There are 2 on Board Game Arena this week. They usually have 2 a week, it seems like. That's kind of been their cadence for the past few weeks that we've been looking on here, at least. This first one is called Leaders, and I do like the artistic vibe, at least, of the game. It's called an all-new strategic game for 2 players. During each game, build your team of 5 unique characters in order to capture the opposing leader. Recruit characters with unique abilities during each turn. Smartly move your team on the board. Make the best use of your skills to capture the opposing leader. Some call it the 21st century chess for good reasons. Would it be the same for you? Question mark. I do want to check it out. I don't know much about how it plays, but it seems like if they're calling it like chess, it's probably got a bit of abstract strategy, kind of tactical spatial awareness, I would imagine. But so that looks pretty cool. And then the other one is called Easy Peasy, which looks like a little P pun card game. I don't know what those peas are doing.
I like the peas. They're kind of cool.
What is that guy doing?
He's learning sumo.
Yeah. Is he hanging from a string? Is he bungee jumping? I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, maybe.
And there's a pogo stick one with a rocket ship. On your turn, play cards on one of the 2 discard piles, respecting the direction set by the up-down card. Either go up in value or go down. So you're trying to get rid of the cards in your hand, it seems like. After 3 rounds, player with the lowest score wins the game. So probably a shedding game, I think, is that genre. So those are the 2 new games to Board Game Arena this week. I do want to check out Leaders. I think it looks cool. Alrighty. Game Pass has their assortment of games for the second wave of April 2025, and there's some good ones in here. I think the headliner is probably Expedition 33, because I think it is a day 1 release, and that comes out next week, maybe. So here we go. Available today. Just go back and forth. We'll read titles, Devin. So you got the first one.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Never heard of it.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, me neither. That's a pretty big one, but it's been out for 12 years. So
wow.
At least I'm pretty sure it's 12. Coming soon on the 16th, Neon White that's supposed to be great. It's as it says here, a lightning fast first-person action game about exterminating demons in heaven.
That's tomorrow.
Surprised they didn't have a picture. There is a picture here. Neon White kind of has an anime vibe. It's supposed to be excellent. I've heard only good things.
SpongeBob SquarePants, the Patrick Star game.
Who's your favorite character in SpongeBob?
Ooh, I haven't watched it for so long. I'm gonna have a hard time telling you. Probably like the driver's ed teacher.
Hey, you said you haven't watched it in a long time, and then you went straight with a deep cut. I think you watched it last night.
Don't reveal my secrets.
What's her name? Mrs. Puff? Oh, Puff. Is it Mrs. Puff?
I don't know.
That might be. Patrick, I think, was always my favorite character. Just very crazy.
That really was a fun cartoon to watch.
Yeah, really was.
In comparison to others.
Crime Scene Cleaner on the 17th. Once you get tangled with the mob, there's no going back. You have to clean crime scenes.
Tempopo is on the 17th as well. I don't know. Is this the description?
I think this portion here is.
When Hannah's garden of musical flowers are scattered across the sky, she asks the Tempopo for help returning them. Chaotic and uncoordinated. Populate your melodic garden with rescued flowers to enjoy musical performance.
That was a sentence.
Did I say melodic right?
I think so.
Okay.
I want to see what it looks like. Oh, right there. Tempopo. Yeah, very, I don't know, kind of youthful looking art. All right, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is on the 24th. Available on day 1, it's a groundbreaking turn-based RPG with unique real-time mechanics. This one is turn-based, but it's very pretty. I don't even know how to explain it, but the turn-based combat looks like compelling enough, and like it has active elements where like you need to push buttons at certain times and stuff. So I'm hoping that I will like this one. But I say that about a lot of turn-based games, and I'm very picky with them. So we'll see.
Towerborn. The Belfry. I don't know words.
Yeah,
stands as a beacon of hope and safety amongst the ruins of humanity and the city of numbers, with monsters lurking right outside the tower's walls. You are an ace, born anew from the spirit realm with the skills, grit, and determination to protect the people of the Belfry.
Wow. That one's in game preview, which is kind of like early access on Steam.
Oh, cool.
Kind of cool they do that, but I like waiting till the game is like a version 1.0 first. Far Cry 4 on the 30th. I think everybody knows what Far Cry is, but travel to Kyrat to fulfill a promise and dive into a civil war to overthrow the oppressive regime of dictator Pagan Min.
Anno 1800, May 1st.
Mm-hmm.
ANNO.
Yep. I think it's kind of like a 4X strategy, almost like a board game in a digital style. It's let me see. I think there's a boat on the cover, if I remember correctly. Yeah, right here. Anno. I would have got that Gamedle.
Oh, probably, honestly.
Yeah. Anyways. So I think that's kind of like a tactical, what's it say here? City building, real-time strategy game. Then you got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, also on the 1st. They're going into May here, which is kind of crazy.
It is crazy. Dredge on May 6th, which is a single-player fishing adventure with a sinister undercurrent.
Very similar vibe to Deep Regrets that we played
cool.
last week. It's a very cool game. I like Dredge.
I've seen that. Yeah, now that I see the cover photo.
Yep. So, some pretty good ones on there, in my opinion. If you have Game Pass, definitely check out Expedition 33, Dredge, Neon White. Those would be my 3 picks there, I think. But there, I took all the good ones.
Wow.
All right, so that's the new games to Game Pass for the second half of this month. All right, if you have Nintendo Switch Online, there are 3 new games to the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack, which I don't have. I only have Nintendo Switch Online, not expansion pack. So these are 3 Sega Genesis games.
Amazing.
First one, Streets of Rage, which I do really like. It's a brawler, Double Dragon kind of game. I've played, I think, Streets of Rage 2. They're fun. Just kind of traditional brawler stuff.
I love it.
Then Super Thunderblade, which I have never heard of or played. Looks like you're the cover here, at least. Oh yeah, you were flying that helicopter.
Wow.
I think its name is probably Thunderblade. Yeah, look at that game. Don't you want to play that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's intense. And then eSWAT City Under Siege, which looks kind of like Contra-ish. Like a 2D, I don't even know, 2D shooter from back in the day. So 3 new games if you want to check those out. I think Streets of Rage is the winner there, in my opinion.
Games have come so far.
They really have. I do love the nostalgia and playing a lot of those old games, but yeah, they have come very far. All right, on the Epic Game Store, the free game is, I don't know how to pronounce this.
Botanicula.
Botanicula, wow.
I don't know.
That was probably right. Or Botanicula, or like botany. I don't know.
What does that remind you of? It reminds me of Bunicula, the Vampire Bunny book.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah,
Remember
that's
that?
a deep pull. I would not have been able to pull that from the dregs of my memory.
I keep weird stuff in there.
Yeah. This game is from the same company, I think, that did Machinarium, and I really like that puzzle game series. They actually have a new one, I think, called like Creeks, and that was also very fun. So it's kind of like a comical little puzzle game. You move characters in a 2D fashion trying to solve puzzles. Machinarium's great. Hopefully this one is too. So I will be adding that to my library. I think that's it, Evan. Is that all the games to subscription services this week?
It is, yes. We are on to what we have been playing, and the first game here we have actually both played.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to let you talk about it a little more because I might spoil some things for you in my conversation.
I'm okay with you saying whatever you want, as long as you don't like tell me like passwords and key codes and stuff.
Do you want me to tell you what happens to Dumbledore or no?
Yeah, but does Draco Malfoy do it?
Oh, he gets it.
We've been playing Blueprints a lot. I think a lot of people have. This has kind of been a sleeper hit. I don't even know if sleeper hit's the right word. A surprise. Indie surprise of the year so far. Mm-hmm. It was free on PlayStation Plus Extra, or included, I guess. And for some reason, I can't get it to go full screen. Here we go. It's a puzzle game where you're trying to find, I feel like we briefly covered it last week in like games we were excited about. Yeah. So I feel like I've said these words before, but you're trying to find the 46th room in your great uncle's house, but the house only has 45 rooms. So it's a puzzle game. It's also a roguelike where you start each run with a certain number of steps. I think 50 by default. There's a lot of ways to change that number, but and then each time you come to a door, you build like the next room in the next of the 44 slots that are left. So it gives you 3 options at the top of the screen, which in board game terms is called drafting. And they even say that you're drafting terms when you take a bunch of something in your hand and then choose which one you're going to keep. And so you draft a room and place it into the mansion. Each room acts very different. Some rooms will like give you extra steps or have keys or a puzzle, like a math game or a logic game inside of them. Some have quite a few secrets or connected rooms that you need to use like a circuit breaker or a water pump or things for. Other rooms you'll find tools in, or you might find a garage that has a that's one of the last things I found was the car keys.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to use them yet, but I did find that. You can open the garage if you're able to do a couple things. And so you're trying to you start at the bottom in the entrance hall, and there's 9 rows of 5 rooms that you can fill in. And then up at the top middle of the 9th row is the antechamber. And I think if you get in there is kind of like how I'm assuming, find the 46th room and beat the like basic run through of the game. But it takes a lot to get there, because I think you have to use a special lever. I keep finding like a broken lever that I'm assuming will open the antechamber door or something.
You don't know about any of that yet.
I don't.
Okay.
So
I probably shouldn't say too much. My thoughts on the game, just not to cut you off.
Go for it.
The game is fantastic. Like you said, very surprisingly fantastic for being free on different platforms. What I really like about roguelike.
Technically, they're 2 different terms. Roguelite, I think, generally has like permanent progression, like things that you unlock that stay and have some permanence. Or a roguelike with a K is supposed to, I think, be like a full wipe each day.
Oh, so this would be closer to a roguelite.
Yeah, but there really aren't many permanent. There's a few, but not many permanent.
Yes. My favorite part of these games, though, are those permanent upgrades that slowly enhance your progression.
The only like truly roguelike that I love is probably Spelunky. But even that, like you can unlock like the shortcuts.
Yeah, it's almost detrimental to use the shortcuts, though.
It is. If you want a good score
from the beginning.
You want better items. You're right.
This game I've got about 20 hours in it, and the progression rate is near perfect for a puzzle game.
It's really good.
You sometimes think you're not getting any progression, and you're like, whoa, okay, never mind, we did. We just found something out. I've never seen that before. I've gone through this room 30 times. I didn't know there was a secret in this room.
Yep.
Sometimes you might feel a little bit of repetition. The game's not perfect. There are some things I think they could have polished out. For example, there's terminals in the game, and if you unlock a room with a terminal, you might have to log into the terminal and do something. And it would be nice if it would save your settings per run. So if I unlock that room again, I don't have to go and re-input all my settings into a terminal.
Oh, interesting.
That type of stuff is a little bit exhausting.
Yeah, because some things do permanently stay. Like when you drain the swimming pool, for example, it stays drained. But
yeah, there were a few other things in the game where I was like, that should have been a permanent adjustment, because I just spent a minute logging into this computer and doing the same change that I'm going to make the next run and the next run and the next run. But it progresses very well. It's complex, though. We've streamed this game and people are like, I don't know what I'm looking at. What are you doing? Are you picking the rooms? As the player, pretty easy to understand after a few hours.
Yeah. Even after like a few turns into your first day, like you won't be confused about how to play. It's just like there's a ton to learn.
There is. Things need to happen in correct order, get lucky with rolls. I don't know. We don't need to talk too much about the game. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. It's very new, but it is truly wonderful in an infuriating way.
Have there been... I've had a few points where like I've discovered something I was like, wow, that was really cool. And I'm curious if that progression will stay. That like one time, I'm trying to remember exactly. We found this magnifying glass and we're looking at a million things with it, and I could not find anything like special. But then, again, I probably won't spoil where, but in a certain room, you're able to look at something you weren't able to look at earlier, and then you find like a secret code for a door. And I was like, oh, that was really cool. You had to like pair those things together, and later you can combine items. And some of those like do really cool things too. And so, like even just opening the garage for the first time, and like seeing where that leads, and like how that can kind of act as a shortcut between like halfway through wherever you build the garage. It could be like, 6 levels up, and that can shortcut you back to the entrance hall if you want to exit that way. So there's I don't know, some of those discoveries were really cool. I hope there's more of them.
I think that it does continue in a way. I think it all depends on the run. Some runs are like, dang, that didn't go as planned. Let's restart. And then you get pleasantly surprised, and you have 30 items that you didn't even plan on getting. You've explored most of the manor, and you're like, whoa, we have a lot of stuff. Yeah. Where do I store all of this for the next run? Wait a second. Maybe I can't. I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder if it's been a slightly different experience playing it for me, because you've been playing it on stream with like talking to people. You're probably going a little bit slower than I do. Just thinking out loud here. When I play, I'm kind of just plowing through for a minute at least, just kind of filling in the bottom area.
Yeah. Just based on door
like,
location.
Exactly. And like the rooms that you see a lot. Like, okay, here's the parlor. I know what's in the parlor. I'm going to throw it here. And so some of the runs, you either end up blocking yourself off and you can't build anymore pretty quick. And so you just like hit pause and hit end day. And those will last like 3 minutes sometimes. And so I haven't had a lot of frustration with the RNG yet. Obviously, I'm not in the end game yet. But when that happens, it's like, okay, this run's over. Go into the next one. I'm guessing when you're getting close to room 46, there's probably scenarios where like you need to fill in a certain corner, or you really need a certain room, or just one more key maybe,
right,
or something. I don't know that for sure, but I also don't know what happened with the game hero. I guess he finished the video kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any bad things to say about it. I think the highest praise I can give it is I played a couple rounds and then showed it to my wife, and she was very intrigued. So I like showed her the opening cutscene, and then we've been playing it kind of together. And that's kind of what she likes in video games, especially if it's first person like this. She doesn't like controlling the camera with the right stick, so she doesn't want to drive.
Oh, okay.
She just kind of wants to be there, find the secrets, tell me where to look, what rooms to put down, and that kind of thing. So it's been fun. It's actually to backseat in this game and like play with somebody is a pretty good time.
Well, and the game is deep enough and complex enough where backseating is actually necessary. You will find, and I will not spoil anything again, some of these puzzles are extremely hard to crack.
Oh, I believe it. Because even like the first couple puzzles you stumble upon, one's on the dartboard. And like the first 10 days, I was like, man, this dartboard puzzle is so easy. Like I'm kind of bored of doing it because it just takes 40 seconds and it's pretty simple. But then on one of them, all of a sudden, like part of the dartboard I'd never seen lit up was lit up. Man. And I was like, what is going on? And so they do tweak them, which is good. It was the very center, the bullseye. I was like, I've never seen the bullseye lit up. So it is cool that they found a smart way, similar to games like Hades, to like slowly introduce stuff so that on your day 20, you're like not so bored because you have seen everything already and you're just waiting for the perfect puzzle mapping to work out. So yeah, I don't know. I really like it. I think I will play this one for a long time. I want to finish it. I want to try. Just on another note, brutally tough trophy list.
Oh, is it?
I don't have a single trophy yet. I think one of them is some of them you'll just get from naturally playing, like do the parlor puzzle 40 times. They for some reason like the number 40. Do the dartboard puzzle 40 times. find the 46th room, beat the game. One of them that I'm sure is going to be one of the hardest trophies in the game is find the 46th room on day 1, which sounds like it'd be very hard, but basically you start what will be kind of to your brain like New Game Plus, where like, okay, I'm going to start a new save knowing everything I already know, and hopefully the RNG kind of luck won't be brutally annoying trying to get that trophy, because that I think would be where it would be most annoying. Kind of reminds me of Returnal, which had these collectible things called artifacts, and since that game is also kind of a roguelike and the maps are randomly generated in a similar way to this, they would randomly spawn on walls in different areas of the game, and you had to get lucky for a certain room to like appear in a certain zone of the game, and then like that room still I think only had like a 1 in 5 chance of an artifact even spawning on one of the walls. So I played that game for probably 3-4 hours, having everything else done, just trying to get that last artifact to randomly spawn in. And that was a little frustrating. It didn't ruin my experience. I loved Returnal, but I hope that this one doesn't push that too hard, where the RNG at the end just makes me want to jump off a bridge.
I don't think it'll be too terrible. I think to trophy chase is going to be a little bit brutal for you.
Yeah, I think it probably will. I don't know that I'll go for the platinum. I think the game's really fun, and so I'd like to try and get most of them if I could.
I looked at my stats. My average run is 28 minutes.
Oh, okay.
My longest loop shorter. Is an hour and a half. And so they can get pretty.
Yeah.
You can be pretty confused.
In the library, right, is where you can see those?
Yes.
I think mine was an hour and 10.
Okay, so you've experienced a long one.
Yeah. Still a lot of things I haven't done, though. Like I said, I just barely found the car keys, and I haven't done a bunch of stuff. But yeah, very excited to keep playing it. I think it's excellent. Very, very cool. Love it when it just kind of reminds me of Animal Well last year. We're like, okay, I loved that PlayStation put like that game on extra on day 1, because you're like, there's no like risk in me buying it or trying it. And I feel like it had to have helped the game, because Animal Well exploded last year. And I feel like this one's having this similar effect. So I hope that after it's not on extra, people will still buy it. And I hope they got a pretty good signing deal from PlayStation as well, because they deserve it. This game probably took, I can't imagine building it. Like, even though like the procedural generation and the computer can help with a lot of the randomness and the math involved in that, I still think it probably took a lot of time to figure out how to.
I do too.
To make this game. So, very cool. All right, Devin, the other game that we've been playing, I've been more watching this series than anything right now.
You've been playing this a little?
With the TV? No. With the TV show, and then watching you stream it. I've been very into The Last of Us right now as well.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't played it.
It's so good. We just beat the first. We ended up doing the second game on a harder difficulty, but we kept our heads up display so we could actually see our ammo and what we were swapping to, which was a lifesaver. But man, even one notch harder, New Game Plus on Hard Plus, I think they call it. My goodness.
It did look hard. You died a lot.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was just like my experience with Resident Evil on these hard modes. You barely get sections done. A lot of times you are lacking what is required to finish the section. It's like, okay, go in there. You had 6 bullets to start this fight, but there's 12 enemies, so only 3 of them are dead. You're going to have to somehow find a way to use melee weapons or sneak through this entire section. And on that difficulty, if you were seen at all, they basically had aim lock. They don't miss.
Yeah, I noticed that. Their aim was really good.
Oh my goodness.
You're like sprinting from cover to cover and you'll get hit.
Oh, I was jumping into pools, getting hit in the air. I would try to run at them after they would shoot me one time, and they would just shoot me again. I almost couldn't even move toward them. And they're just like, no, you're not going to get closer to me. Because in real life, I wouldn't let you anyways.
Yeah.
It was extremely brutal. The game is fantastic. The story's fantastic. I know most people listening or play the game, I think are Team Ellie. I might be on the opposite team.
I love Abby.
I also do. I really, really do.
I think yeah. I think the story's done so like masterfully well in that the game starts off with you don't know who this person is and they do something terrible and you want them dead. Right. You don't like Abby at first very strongly. But then it slowly starts to like tell you why she was there and who she is, and you see her story. And you like see her like start to care for Lev and what's her name? Yara? Yara? I think it's Yara. And even then at the end she's the more like forgiving one at that point.
Yep.
Where Ellie just can't let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like both of them. I know that
I also do. Yes.
I know a lot of people are very much one side or the other. But I think it's just like a sad story for both.
Yeah, this is like pineapple on pizza for me. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think they're both. That's a bad example. I like them both. They're both good. The game is so good. It has very touching moments, super cool environments.
Yeah.
Super intense fights. If you don't understand the keybinds, you can be very scared in these intense situations. I feel like I understood them pretty well.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what I have. I know that if I make this much distance between me and the enemies, I can craft before they break the distance. I know what materials I have. I know how to get to weapons. I know how to do most of it. But I was still getting absolutely clapped over and over.
Yeah. No, I mean, a lot has been said about this game. I think this game is this and probably like Red Dead 2, or probably like two of like the best examples of what video games can be in their like genre. And I think this game is better than any zombie movie you've ever seen, as far as like the story is concerned. And then it also plays like better than most third-person shooting games with crafting and survival, and it's also very long. Surprisingly, this one's like 30 hours or something. It's pretty long. So yeah, I don't know. I get it that a lot of people don't like video games. They didn't grow up with them and they think they're just like, I don't know, for kids, but I really like what Naughty Dog does with like, even with Uncharted. I'm like, man, I think that's a better story than Indiana Jones, for example, that it's kind of loosely influenced by. And it's fun because you get to you're playing it, you're taking part and participating. But they make it like you're not just participating in a way where like you're playing Miss Pac-Man. It's like you're actually like feeling the emotion and like going through with them. So good. This game it's brutal. You know, think of like 28 Days Later or something mixed with a better story. Then that's kind of what it is. It's violent and dark, but it's the highest level of production in a video game. Even just watching this right now, I can't believe this came out on PlayStation 4 5 years ago. And it still looks better than almost anything that comes out nowadays. Because we weren't playing like the newest version either. So just excellent. I'm glad that you were able to replay both of them.
I would replay them a third time. I really would. I was hesitant to do so. I was like, I think I remember this enough where I don't really want to. But once I was in it, I was reminded of its greatness.
Yeah.
So.
And it does, like you said, it has that Resident Evil vibe, and I know that's a vibe you love.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
a little less, like Resident Evil gets a little more like, okay, we're going to really lean into the supernatural or the kookiness or the cartooniness sometimes, where this is trying to be more realistic, obviously.
I also like this compared to Resident Evil. I like the inventory management of this game maybe more. Sometimes I felt like I was cheating in Resident Evil by pushing the pause button, spraying myself with mist, getting a haircut, going to McDonald's in the meantime while paused. This one forced you to make sure you went into fights reloaded, every weapon reloaded, know your inventory, and if you needed extra stuff, you had to find a way to craft it mid-fight without the enemies standing still.
That's right. Yeah, there's not like a pause to create your med kits.
Yeah.
You have to spend the 5 seconds to bind the whatever it is, cloth or whatever.
Yeah, they're both amazing in their own way.
Yeah.
Honestly, fantastic game. I'm sure almost everybody's played it, but or seen it or knows of it, but
Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about The Last of Us more in the coming weeks as the episodes just keep coming out for the show. We'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of the episode today.
No board games for you this week.
No, I wasn't able to
Wow.
play. I have a few that I like unboxed and I'm excited to play, but I wasn't able to get any done. It's been a very busy week. My wife didn't feel very good for a couple of days, and I had the golf tournament, and work's been super busy. So yeah, I'm just slacking like a big old slacker.
But you have continued the Planet of Lana.
Yeah, I've only played a little bit more of this one so far. I don't know that I have much more to say about it than I did last week, but it's a fun 2D kind of puzzle platformer that's very like pretty. I like the kind of pastel-y colors. Everything looks really like charming and like nice as you're going through. Cool story, cool idea.
And we talked about this one last week as well, but you actually got to play it.
I started it, didn't get super far yet, but it's super fun. It's called Pepper Grinder, and it has these awesome pixel graphics, and you have this. I don't know who thinks of this stuff, but it works really well in a video game. You have this little drill, and it can drill through dirt, and so you just like use that drilling motion to gain momentum through sand and find secrets and fight bosses, and you can like drill like up against gravity because you're going through the dirt with the drill and stuff. So you're exploring, fighting enemies. There are some like villains and bad guys. But yeah, I love how it looks. So again, this kind of brings me back to those retro game vibes similar to the Sega Genesis games that we were looking at a little earlier.
But we're all wondering, do you love how it plays?
It plays very well. Like
Does it?
It feels smooth, and like you can control it pretty well. How you're going through the sand.
I like the idea. I haven't seen this mechanic
Yeah,
in many games
it's like
or any game.
it's like very fluid. You don't spend very much time even on like the character's feet.
Wow.
You're mostly like trying to stay fluid and always be going through sand. So yeah, it's cool. I like it. I want to play it a little bit more, but I haven't been able to quite yet. What else do I have on there? Was it just that?
Yeah, you excited about anything in the near future?
There is a game that just came out today that I am excited about. I wonder if they have it here on Open Critic because I can't remember its name, to be completely honest. And today was the 17th. Oh, it's this one, Bionic Bay. Oh, look, and I haven't checked the reviews. It's got an 88. That's pretty dang.
So is that good news?
Oh yeah,
that's pretty
excellent.
good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think other than Blueprints has an 89. It floated in like the low 90s for a minute, but it is a platformer where you're like changing the direction of gravity. Wondering if there's like, here's a launch trailer. Maybe we can play that while I kind of talk about. Okay, maybe not. Ad block. Aren't you supposed to help me with those? Here we go. Also very cool, like halfway pixel graphics. They're like pixely when you're zoomed in, but if you zoom out enough, it like looks a little bit different. Kind of a floppy, kind of what's that called? Ragdoll looking effect with your character, like when you jump. And so it's very physics based platformer. You're trying to like get to the end of the stage or explore this world by slowing down time and adjusting gravity. It's supposed to be very good. So I'm excited to try that one out. I'm actually very excited that I clicked on here and saw it's got an 88 because that's very, very high praise.
And what platforms is this on?
Let's see. I think it's on everything. Yeah, 10 out of 10 on DualShockers. That's pretty good. Who else has got it here? I wonder if Push Square has a review. They're kind of my review site of choice, even though there's a lot of good ones. That doesn't look like they have one yet. I think it's on the 98th percentile of games scored on Open Critic. That's crazy. It is on PC and PlayStation 5. I guess is it right now. Just came out today. So I'm excited to check that one out. It's not free, like Blueprints was. So I'll
sad.
Look at the price and see what's going on there because I don't even know how much it costs yet. So I think that's probably it for video games. Other than that, I'm going to continue Planet of Lana, Blueprints, and Pepper Grinder. So lots. Again, one more thing I just want to say. I started Atomfall, kind of like a The company that made, I think, Sniper Elite and has made like Sniper Elite 1, 2, 3, and 4 made this game, and it's kind of similar in feeling, at least, to like Fallout. You wake up and you don't remember like why you're in the place you're in, and you come out of this. It's not a bunker, but kind of like a bunker, like a vault kind of spot, and there's this world in front of you, and you're like, go to figure out like why was I there? What's going on? Who are these people? There's bad guys, good guys, and like a main mission you can go towards. There's also like these giant mech robots around. I played it for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I was like, this game's cool. It's very pretty. I'm just overwhelmed by like how big it is. And I don't know. I also think that sometimes like the first person gameplay in like Fallout in a game like that is not like where it shines. Like it plays pretty good. Like you can sneak and like hide in the grass and like use melee attacks, and you're managing your inventory and upgrading your weapons, and the gunplay actually feels pretty good. But there's something like more immediately fun to me about a game like Pepper Grinder, where in the first 10 seconds I'm drilling and I'm just moving and I'm like everything's kinetic and I'm vibing. So those bigger games take me longer to get into, which is I don't know, it's a tricky thing. So I think I got a free month of GameFly, and that's where I got it. I think I'm gonna send it back. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm struggling to stay like enraptured in these giant big games right now.
It's difficult for me as I don't want to say perfectionist, but I see a big open world and I see
checkpoints everywhere.
In a mile or even a half-mile circle, I imagine there's 30 to 40 NPCs, and I feel like I need to talk to all of them, even though most of them are just going to tell me to go to the farm next door and they'll give me a banana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah. And some of them will just be like,
some of them are
get
important.
Out of here, stranger.
Yeah. Get out of here. And I need you to do this for me. It's sometimes hard to gauge what's important in massive games.
Mm-hmm.
And it can go really, really deep. Elden Ring was pretty overwhelming for me at first. And still to this day, I don't remember all the little puzzles and what item I should take to you and why do you need this needle and you're going to craft this from that and there's 400 weapons. And
yeah, you really have to love the game and like the story and the world for me to want to take that much time to figure all those things out.
Mm-hmm.
And after an hour and a half, I wasn't like in love with it yet. And so I was just like, I just don't know that I'm ready to commit to that. I was trying to look and see when it came out. Thought it was in March, but maybe it was in February. Really surprised that they don't have that listed here, but anyways, it's like a month-ish old. Nothing bad to say about it. Again, very pretty. I thought it was, the graphics are really good. I just don't know that it's a David game right now. I feel like there was a reason I was going to bring that up. I think it was because I was going to go down to the table and tell you about the board games I'm excited to play. But are there any video games you're excited to play in the near future, Devin?
The one that you talked about earlier that's on Game Pass, not the turn-based one, the other one that came out today that looked more anime. I was curious when you brought it up.
Oh, White. What was it called?
I don't remember.
White Knight, White Fluid, White Fire. White Neon. I think it's what it's called.
That's stuck in my head ever since you brought it up. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, you should check it out. I've heard only excellent things about it. Very fast-paced, like first-person shooter kind of. But it's not like a Doom, like gory kind of thing. I don't think it's like much different. So yeah, I think that would be a fun one to check out. All right, as far as like board games are concerned, I'm gonna go down to the table. I've got a lot of junk on the table right now, but that's okay. So if I click here on the table button, I think that should have done it, right? Yes, it did. All right, Devin, here at the table, let's make sure we got everything moving how it should. Yeah, it looks like it. There's a few games I'm pretty excited to play right now. I'm going to take our faces off just so it'll work a little better. First off, I don't remember if I had this last week, but I got the micro expansion to Fractured Sky. Basically, just has different colored starfalls that are very cool and metal. Got purple, green, gold, and red in there. Love those. So I'm excited to try that. That's basically all that was in this box, except for some cards that explain how it works. And then I want to try Apothebakery. I got it a few weeks ago and haven't played it yet. Deep Regrets came in, and we kind of prioritized that one instead. It has some very cool pieces, these acrylic potions you can make, and we were looking at the pieces a little bit before we started. I do think it looks good. I hope that it's fun. The artwork is a little I don't know, maybe more cutesy than I would like, but I don't hate it. I like that little fox guy on the side. We'll see. So
same.
And she kind of reminds me of Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph, so I'm all right with that. And then I think the other one I did just get sale recently. You can see it's still in the shrink wrap. This is a 2-player trick-taking game, but it's cooperative. So you're trying to move your boat along this path, and there's a bunch of different missions, and I think you do that by playing cards, and you have to be sure to win a certain number of tricks. It's supposed to be really good. I also got the little mini expansion they had for that. So always a bunch of new board games to check out. I think that's probably the smattering for today. I have a bunch more in my closet behind me that I haven't played yet either, but these were the ones that caught my eye immediately. We almost played Apothebakery before we started, but I got a little behind on my timeline, so we didn't quite do that. So that's probably it. And then, as you can see here, got my Gamefly Atomfall to send back. So lots of good stuff. I think that's probably it then for what we've been playing and what we are excited for. So I'm going to go back to the screen. And Devin, we're going to go to the
news Mini-Nuke.
Nice. And there's a couple things in the news Mini-Nuke that we'll go over a little bit slower than our rapid fire round, but then we'll get into that. The first one, Nintendo had a 15-minute-ish Nintendo Direct today, all about Mario Kart World. They basically showed a bunch of more details about the game. Still looks great. I don't know that anything else they showed today like really added to my excitement. I think it looks really great. There are a few new details though that I think we should mention. First off, they kind of went through like 10 of the courses.
I can read them for us.
Yeah, you can read them if you want.
Mario Bros. Circuit, Crown City, Salty Salty Speedway, Starview Peak, Boo Cinema, Toad's Factory, Peach Beach, and Wario Shipyard.
Yeah. Some of them are like from older Mario Kart games, and some of them are brand new, and they're all incorporated into the big open world of Mario Kart World, which is cool. So you can race just on those tracks, or you can race from one track to the other. There's a lot of flexibility in those. They then showed some characters. A lot of them, are pretty standard: Mario, Luigi, Peach, that kind of thing. The 4 new ones that they showed were Goomba, which I thought was pretty cool. That Goomba's a character that you can play as now. I'm wondering if I can find. It must be before that. Oh yeah, here we go. Because they're talking about cow. You got Goomba right there. He's vibing. Spike, I really like Spike.
Ooh, what game is he from?
Mario 3D World.
Awesome.
Cow.
What game is he from?
I think I don't know.
He's
probably from Mario Kart Wii on Moo Moo Meadows.
Probably, yeah.
And then Lakitu they show here as well. There's also this guy from like Super Mario Brothers 3 that throws the wrenches. He's like a gopher.
Amazing.
So there's some cool looking characters. I like the new ones that they showed there. Then they talk about Grand Prix mode, which is pretty standard, but you do race between the tracks as well. And then a new mode called Knockout Tour, which is pretty cool. You choose like a scenario or a cup in Knockout Tour, and they're longer than Grand Prix. It looks like they were like 5 or 6 races. Well, it's not even, it's like segments of a race, and they go from one side of the world to the other. And along the way, there's like 5 or 6 checkpoints. And at each checkpoint, whoever is in like the lowest positions will be knocked out.
Wow.
So as you like, for example, get to the first one, it might be like the top 20 of the 24 racers get to continue. The bottom 4 are knocked out. So towards the end, it might only be the top 4 like it showed there. So kind of a cool mode, and probably helps with like if you're losing at that point, you can probably just be like, all right, these people are too good for me. I'm just gonna bounce to another online match. Seems like a pretty cool.
This game looks amazing. The suspension of the vehicles looks so good. Oh my goodness. We're getting 1080p or
Yeah, it runs at I think it runs at 4K.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
we gotta see that.
Well, the screen of the Switch 2 itself is 1080p.
Right.
It can do 1080, 120 frames. But then if you play on a 4K TV, you can play at 4K. 60 is the highest. All right, and then they talk about new items. They're showing some of them here. The hammer, the ice flower, the coin shell, mega mushroom. I like the hammer. It throws like a bunch of them. The mega mushroom makes you really big for a minute. It's kind of cool. What other ones were there? The feather, they mentioned, does a big jump, which it looks like you can avoid certain objects. He like jumps right over a red shell.
That's a perfect addition. I feel like they needed that.
Yeah. You can also jump to like new shortcuts like it showed there. And then Kamek is kind of that magician like dude from Mario, and he does all kinds of weird things. It looks like they kind of
it's your character.
Oh yeah, charge and chuck, yeah. They kind of tease like you'll have to see what other things Kamek can do, which was cool. Then they showed Yoshi. Well, they showed in like the open world a restaurant called Yoshi's. And if you find like the different Yoshi restaurants and drive through kind of their drive through, then you get a meal, and those meals will give you a new outfit for the character that you're using based on the type of meal that you ate. And so they show like a outfit from Japan that Princess Peach has, and Mario here eats a hamburger. He kind of gets like this cool biker jacket.
And is this a permanent change? Let's say you do this in the open world, that's the skin you'll have in each race going forward until you go to another.
I'm not 100% sure. They did show here once you've unlocked them, then they become unlocked in the main menu for you to choose later.
That is cool. I like that.
Yeah, I like the outfits too. They look pretty cool. Wario the pirate there. Mario's eating potato chips. I don't know. Kind of fun. Last couple things they went over. There's a couple new new tricks that you can do. The first one starts with that CH sound I was trying to say. It's called the charge jump. If you hold the drift button while you're not turning, then you can start to charge up a jump, and you can do a fairly decently sized jump. And with that, also, you can jump over like shells and things. Like someone jumps over a car here, jumps onto a power line. So you can do a little mini hop. You have to time it so that you charge it. And to charge up, you have to, again, not be holding a direction. If you do the charge jump onto a wall, you can wall ride for a minute. So a bit more flexibility there, it looks like, with the tricks. Because usually it was like hit a jump and shake the controller as much as I can. Then they show the rewind feature, which is a new one that you can do in single player and in the open world, where if you want to they show him trying to hit like a shortcut here and he misses, you can rewind. When you do rewind, the other players, though, do not rewind. So instead, you want to use it sparingly and really just to like learn different areas of the track, I think. So cool idea. I don't know how much that'll be used, though. It can be used in free roam and when playing races solo, it says. Anyways, a bunch of new modes as well. There's time trials like normal, versus race, teams, battle with balloon battle, and coin runner. Free roam is where you can just drive wherever you want in the big open world with photo mode, and then online and local play as well. And then I think local can go up to 4 players on the same Switch, 8 players with multiple switches in the same room, like over Bluetooth or something, and then 24 players online. Looks very cool. So there were some cool new details in there. As Nintendo is wont to do lately, they include a bunch of cool stuff in their videos, and then like some bad news comes out that they purposely didn't put in the video. This bit of weird news they hid right at the end after they've showed everything in this presentation. Yay, Mario Kart World is available June 5th, 2025. Oh, and by the way, there's a bundle. You can get it with the Switch too. How excellent. So good. And then the last 2 seconds, this little note pops up. limited time production through fall 2025, available while supplies last. So this bundle with Mario Kart, where you get Mario Kart for $50 instead of $80, is a limited time bundle, and they won't be continuing that bundle, which seems like the dumbest thing ever, because I feel like everyone's gonna want this bundle.
I want this
Every
game.
family wants that bundle, right? You're getting the game for $30 off. Probably they know that. They just want, little Timmy's mom, who couldn't afford the Switch for Christmas 2025 and bought it for him and his birthday in June 2026, to have to buy the Switch and Mario Kart separately so they get the extra $30 from her. Rant over, but kind of lame.
Yeah, it's silly.
So, anyways, Mario Kart World looks awesome. I'm excited.
The fact that it's just open world and you can just live in the game is so cool.
Yeah, very cool. All right, Devin, on Saturday of last week, I didn't watch this, but Bungie had their big marathon gameplay reveal. I don't know did you see anything about it, Devin?
No, I was just trying to get the Twitch badge for it.
Oh, was there a Twitch badge for watching? So there was, I think, like a few different videos came out, basically, and some more details. So it comes out on the 23rd of September. So this year, which is cool. On PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox. Very unique, since Bungie is owned by Sony. They don't usually put their games on Xbox, except for Sony San Diego studio, who makes the baseball game. The MLB kind of forced them to put their game on Xbox as well. And then Bungie, when they were purchased by Sony, somehow signed some set up the purchase so that PlayStation would allow them to keep their games on Xbox as well. So anyways, coming everywhere on September 23rd. There was a bunch of new videos. There's a gameplay video that kind of shows how the gameplay works. They had a longer, 25-minute video about different, I think, streamers playing the game and their experience with it. Obviously very marketing, it's the best thing ever. But a bunch of streamers have played it. And I think this one here is, the gameplay overview video. I think, the sci-fi aesthetic of the game is so cool. Whether I'll like the how it plays and if I will be capable enough to enjoy it is another thing. I don't know. But it does look cool. There were a few more details, I think, that came out that Bungie said that this is not a free-to-play game. It's a premium game. We believe that it deserves a premium price. Then people were like, oh, so is it going to be $70? And I'm like, well, no, it's not going to be $70. But it's going to have a price and then have more content that comes out, for years and years and years. So it seems like it'll probably be about $40, I would imagine, which is what PlayStation did with Helldivers and Concord, even though that didn't turn out so well. So just kind of some guessing there, but lots to see if you want to learn more about Marathon. I do want to watch some of these a bit closer, but I don't know. Bungie does have a cool sci-fi vibe. Even Destiny's sci-fi vibe was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be the game that gets you, Devin. You might be sucked into this one.
I might be. Yeah, we will. We will see.
We'll see. But looks very cool. All right, and then I think there was one more thing before the Mini-Nuke. Before the rapid fire section. There's been some rumors for a few weeks, maybe even longer, that Bethesda was working on a remaster of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. And then it kind of leaked on this developer called Virtuous's website, all of these images. So you can see the title there. It's obviously called Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. And then these screenshots here that show how it compares from when it came out in 2006 to these new screenshots from 2025. I remember playing Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind a little bit on our Xbox and being like, wow, this is crazy that this big of a game can run on this thing. But then also being extremely overwhelmed with it and not really vibing with it a ton. And so I didn't play that one. I played a little bit of 4, this one, Oblivion, and then only a little bit of Skyrim. I maybe these big open world games, like we just talked about, Atomfall, are just kind of not my thing. But I think a lot of people will be excited for this one. I feel like Oblivion is probably the most popular one after Skyrim, maybe. But have you played this one, Devin?
I've only played Skyrim and made like a lizard or a leopard character in Morrowind one time, and then I think I walked in a shop and grabbed a cup, and the guy didn't like that I did that.
Yeah, yep,
That's
exactly.
all I remember.
Yep, that's about my experience as well. After playing Skyrim, would you want to play Oblivion, the game before Skyrim, if it was all beautified like this?
I enjoyed Skyrim for the environment, but don't hate me, it was very clunky to play. It was like swing your sword perfectly straight down. There's hardly any animation for when you hit the character. I don't know how old the game was. I don't know when it came out, but I don't know if this one's newer or older than Skyrim.
This one is the one before Skyrim.
Before Skyrim.
But this one is like a remastered version, so hopefully they've cleaned that up a bit. But I don't know.
If I've got 100 hours, I could enjoy the game.
Yeah.
If I've got 15 and just need to get to the end, I don't think I'll appreciate it as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Probably not for me, but there was a bit of buzz about that this week. Like, hooray, it seems like it's real and will probably be announced pretty soon, I'd imagine. Since most of like the marketing photos and stuff have leaked. All right, well, that brings us to rapid fire, Devin. I don't remember what these items are, so this will be fun to see. Oh, a little update here on tariffs, I think was the first one. I guess tariffs are going to be, or some items are going to be exempt from tariffs. Some of those include computers, smartphones, but video game consoles like the Switch 2, at least as of this day, today, according to Video Games Chronicle, will not be exempt. So I think that's probably why we're going to see in a second that like prices are going up for a lot of things. The pre-orders for the Switch 2 still haven't gone live in America or Canada. And I think they're just kind of waiting to see, like, is anything going to get better? But then President Trump saying that video game equipment will not be exempt. So we'll see how this goes. It's kind of a crazy time period right now.
It is wild.
All right, next up. I kind of hinted at this one. PlayStation Plus's pricing is going up in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. Sorry, that's not PlayStation Plus. The price of the PlayStation 5 itself, actually, is what I meant. And so you can see the new pricing here, I think. I don't know what the pricing was, but I imagine probably like $30 to $50 less than that would be my guess. So here's the pricing for Europe, Great Britain, Australia, and New Zealand there. Again, I have to imagine these tariffs are having probably one of the main reasons for that. And then this one is PlayStation Plus is increasing in Canada. Essential is $110 Canadian, Extra is $190, and Premium is $225. Canadian dollar is a little bit weaker than the US dollar, so that's I think in America ours is like 70, 130, and 180 or something. I don't remember perfectly, but there is that. So yay for tariffs and for inflation. Love it.
Yippee.
All right, there was quite a bit of new gameplay trailers that came out. This one is from Bloober Team, who did the remake of Silent Hill 2 that I think you played pretty recently, and this is a new game that they're making called Chronos, The New Dawn, and it kind of has this like creepy, kind of like Dead Space kind of vibe, in my opinion. And so they put out a gameplay trailer here. For being a gameplay trailer, it doesn't have a ton of gameplay in it, in my opinion, but you can kind of see like the character moving, and I think shooting and stuff, but the HUD's not there, and so anyways, hopefully it's good. They're kind of on a comeback because they made a couple stinkers. Bloober Team did, and I think everybody thought that Silent Hill 2 maybe wouldn't be great either, but then everyone loved it. So we'll see on that one. And then I think the next one is also... Nope, it's not a trailer. Never mind. Next up is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Has sold a lot. We knew it had like 2 million players is what they said. And now they've said, according to Circana, which is like this agency that has sales data for video games and keeps everything like organized that way. It's the second best selling game in the United States in 2025 so far, behind Monster Hunter Wilds, which we know has sold 10 million copies. So seems like Assassin's Creed Shadow's doing pretty well, which is good. And then we just talked about The Last of Us Season 2 of the video game, but the HBO show did come out on Sunday, the first episode at least. Talk about that more in a little bit. And probably thrilling news to PlayStation and HBO. It attracted a bunch of viewers. I think it was 5.3 million viewers on day one, which is 10% more than the day one episode, or the season one premiere episode. So the show's growing, which is cool.
Wow.
It's already been renewed for a third season, which we talked about last week. So I think HBO is probably all in on this show since it's one of their biggest things. I think, it said the first episode of the first season brought in 4.7 million, which at the time was the largest debut after House of the Dragon. So I don't know. Doing good stuff over there. It's a great show. Make sure to check it out as well. Is that all the news, Devin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to go to board game news really quickly because there's one thing I forgot to add here. Stonemaier Games, one of the most popular and well-known board game companies in the world right now. They made Wingspan and Expeditions and Apiary and Scythe. One of the co-founders of Stonemaier is Jamie Stegmaier, and he did an unboxing here of their new game that comes out later this summer or fall called Vantage. And this game is very interesting. It seems very unique. I think the game has like 1,000 cards in it. And the experience is that every player is kind of like waking up at a different point in this giant world. And I think you look at a card and the card gives you your vantage point of what you can see from that at that moment. And then you use that to make decisions of like, okay, I'm going to go east or west. And so he kind of likened it to, I wanted it to feel like when people played Breath of the Wild and first walked out of the resurrection chamber and saw like the big world, and they see a vantage point and they go over to it and do something. People have been really pumped for this one because it sounds very unique and ambitious. He's been making the game for 8 years, he said. And so he does an unboxing of it and kind of shows what it looks like in the box. I think he's taken most of the components out of the cardboard, probably to save some spoilers and stuff, I would imagine. But and then he kind of shows the board and just a massive, massive section of 4 different cards or wells of cards and like the booklets and stuff. I'm very excited to look into this game. I don't know if it will be one for me. Again, I'm very picky with certain types of games, but I don't know. If you want to check that out, it was a cool thing this week that I thought was worth pointing out. They do good stuff over there. Okay, Devin, this would usually be the point we go to Crowdfunding Corner. Today we're going to, not a corner. What's smaller than a corner? Crowdfunding seat? It's not a whole corner. It's like a crowdfunding closet. Like a crowdfunding little cabinet. Crowdfunding drawer.
The crowdfunding drawer.
So this one probably won't even be its own breakout episode. I think also because of the tariff situation that there are a lot of companies kind of waiting and not putting their games on Kickstarter right now. I don't know, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. There's not a lot on there. There are quite a few games, but I didn't think very many of them looked like high quality. So there was one though I wanted to shout out. This company, Chip Theory Games, makes really big games and that are very well loved. I think Too Many Bones is maybe one, and there's a sci-fi one that I thought looked really cool that I've almost gotten a couple of times. Their name is Chip Theory Games because in all of their bigger games, most of their pieces are big, like poker chips. So they are like very unique in like how they play with like those chips. They've launched a solo Palm playable adventure. So it's like a miniature game line from them. It's on GameFound right now, and the idea is you're hunting these different dragons, and you do that by having like 4 cards in your hand, and you're using like the values on them to do like different attacks to try to either defeat or capture these different dragons. Since they're such like a well-loved company, and I think it looks pretty cool, kind of reminds me of what Button Shy does with their 18 card little wallets. I thought I'd give it a shout out as it was the coolest looking game this week. Also, cool little touch, all the cards are PVC, which is cool. They're not paper, so they're like plastic. They're like kind of bendy and waterproof. I've only seen a few games that have used them, but very cool thing. Helps with like they say here, no sleeves needed. So you could like put these in your pocket, and you're not like afraid of like bending or ruining the card so much. They show the guy putting it in his pocket right there. So if you like chip theory or a little solo card game that has a couple different expansions you can also get here as well, then maybe check that one out. It's on GameFound until what day? 7 more days until April 25th. So there you go. That was Crowdfunding Drawer.
Dragons of Etchinstone.
Oh yeah, I didn't say the name. Thanks for saying the name. Dragons of Etchinstone. All right, Devin, we're going to end just with a little note here. I think it'd be kind of fun, since the Last of Us show on HBO doesn't air very often. I think it's been 2 years since the first season came out. I thought we might do like a recap episode, just kind of talk about each episode and what we thought about it, what the changes from the game were, especially since you just played it, and I've watched it pretty recently, so I think we'll have some opinions on that. I think we're going to maybe do it in like 2-episode chunks though. So we'll like look at episodes 1 and 2 maybe next week. Just kind of talk about them for like 20, 30 minutes, or I don't know, 10, however long we want to, and clip it out and have it be its own fun little video as well. So that's kind of the plan. So if you're watching The Last of Us on HBO, then right into the show and we can chat about those things as well. So I think we're just going to end maybe by doing one Gamedle here today, instead of having that segment that we will probably end with on the coming weeks. So I forgot to put that link in there for you, so I'm just going to type in Gamedle here, and we'll go from there. Gamedle. All right, Devin. We crushed, I think, our record last time, if I remember correctly. So I'm a little nervous that we won't be able to do it again, but here we go. Oh, what did I do? I must have clicked on the wrong thing. Yes, oh no, Classic Unlimited is what I wanted. Normal. Here we go. All right. And for some reason today we just don't have ads, which is wonderful. So we're going to jump right back in, trying to break our record of 21 in a row. Can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? I think I know what this one is.
Yoshi's Yarn World.
Hey, I think that's exactly what it is, except for the wrong title. I think it's Yoshi's Crafted World. Ooh. It's probably Woolly World. Because, is that wool?
Looks woolly.
Yeah, Yoshi's Woolly World.
I legitimately just guessed.
I have that game on the Wii U. It's fun. I love the Wii U. I know a lot of people.
I know nothing about the Wii U.
Oh,
is it its own console?
Yeah, that's where Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze came out on that, and so did Breath of the Wild.
Can you hook it to a TV?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's what it plays Wii games as well. So I have like Mario Galaxy, Mario Galaxy 2, Twilight Princess, Punch-Out, and a lot of those old Wii games that we had. And that's how I would play them, is just putting them in the Wii U.
And do you have to use the console as the controller?
No, you can use a Wii controller or that like gamepad thing as the controller, or they had a Pro controller. I think you can plug in any USB controller, if I remember correctly. So it's excellent. Wii U. Love that thing that sold like five units. One of them to David. Okay. That was a little bit of a rant. So let me go to the next game here. All right. Next. All right. Can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? Devin, you ever seen that frog before?
Zuma's Revenge.
Look at you go. I only know this one.
What? I actually got it right.
You did.
I've just thought Zuma for some reason.
Yeah, that frog.
And I just threw a word after that.
That frog just like it got in your brain. Mm-hmm. I have a friend that's really great at Zuma, like incredibly fast. And I've only played it a few times. So I'm terrible at it, but kind of a fun game. You're connecting the bricks or the like balls in sets of 3. And if you're able to like create a break, you can shoot through the break to the next row and stuff. Fun game. Look at you. You're just a pro. All right, can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred?
It's Spider-Man something.
Yeah, it is. I don't know which one. It might be... My guess would be Spider-Man 3, since in the third Spider-Man movie, he got like the black suit.
Right,
had Venom.
right.
So that would be my first guess. This one here. That one is it. Yep. Cool. Crushing it. Can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? I've played this one pretty recently. It's actually really fun.
I think it's Rackman too.
Yeah, Rackman. It's actually Miss Rackman.
Oh, Miss Rackman.
Yeah. Which
is this Trackmania?
Yeah, Miss Rackman would be quite a name for anyone probably, but it's a pretty fun. Trackmania is fun. It's like all time trial based.
I got obsessed with this for a minute.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I played it pretty. I bet I've put 6 hours into that game, and I also really enjoyed it.
I spent like an hour and a half on one track, mastering this perfect speed to try to get better.
One of the things I really like about it is how fast it is. Like, you're zooming. Yeah, it's fun. Trackmania. All right, can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? This is gonna be a tough one, Devin.
I can't.
That's a mount. That's a side of a mountain.
Far Cry.
Mountain Climber. Mission Impossible 2. Yeah, let's try Far Cry. Maybe it's like the first one. I don't think it's 2 or 3, and I don't think it's 4 because that one has Pagan Min sitting in the front. Let's go with the first one. Nope. Luckily, we get a little help here. I don't see much in there though, other than
elephants.
Oh yeah, touche, elephant. So it's probably like Planet Zoo or like Zoo Tycoon.
I feel like Planet Zoo looks correct.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Is that a game?
I thought it was. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at me go. Planet Zoo. Oh yeah, look at that lion. Didn't even know he was there.
Up there.
Yeah. Everywhere the light touches. All right. Can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? Oh, we were just talking about a newer one of these.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, this is the one. This is Mario Kart 8, right?
It's being generous to us today. I'm actually getting some of these.
Hey, you're crushing it. And it must be the deluxe version because that was wrong.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
There we go. That's the Switch version. I had Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. Which
whoa.
You know, because I'm a true fan.
That's crazy.
Just, you know. So, Gamedle, get on my level.
That's
all I'm saying. All right. Can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? We got a blue hat and a red cape. And like a little sword over there. First thing that came to my mind was like Trine, but it looks like it might be older than that. Any guesses? I'm going to throw a Trine in there, and we'll see what that does. Not Trine.
Are we in the right franchise?
Oh, we are. Haha. Look at me go.
Wow.
Okay. I feel like there's only like 4 Trine games, so this shouldn't be too bad. I'm guessing it's 2, 3, or 4. I'm probably gonna go with 2 next.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. There's trying 2. I've played one of those for about half an hour with my wife. I thought it was fine. That's the end of that story.
That was a great story.
Yeah. Can we guess a video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? I want to play this game. But
Alan Wake 2.
Yeah. Good job. See, Devin, you're on a roll.
Wow,
I think you've gotten like 5 of them already.
crazy.
You haven't played that yet, have you?
Played like 2 hours.
Oh, you did?
They did a free trial of the game.
Oh, okay, cool. How was the first 2 hours?
Hardly got to play the game. You're doing too much like detective work.
Gotcha. Can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? This is one that I know a lot of your stream chat asks you to play pretty frequently.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Nope, but I can see where you'd get that vibe. This is one that I've played and really enjoyed. Another game in this genre would be like Slay the Spire.
Is this Inscription?
It is Inscription, yeah.
I don't know how the words are coming to my head today.
It's that magnesium 3-8.
It is. I just got 2 bottles.
All right. Can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? A very fortuitous portion right there.
Fortuitous portion indeed. Payday 2.
You're the MVP today. Crushing these.
You've known everyone I've known.
Well, no. The Zuma's one, I would have said like Zuma 1 or 2 or something. You went right to Revenge. Can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred?
Looks like the OG Wolfman.
Hey. What if I told you that the word wolf was in the title?
Really?
Mhm.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wall Street. That's it. It's Leo. That's Leo right there. No, this is The Wolf Among Us from Telltale. I think it's based on a comic book series. So this was like after they did The Walking Dead, they did this one. And, well, I know a lot of people like it, but I never tried that one.
Huh.
All right, can we guess the video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? I don't know this one immediately. Obviously got like some Japanese vibes. Like the first thing that came to my head was like Samurai, like Ninja Gaiden or Tenchu or something, but anything come to your mind?
No.
It might be Yakuza. Oof.
I hope so.
I hope not, because there's like, let me just show you.
Oh
There's
no.
like 7 Yakuza games right there. Let's just throw one in. Okay, good. Okay. Any guesses?
Oni-chan.
Oni-chan? No, Oni-musha. Oh boy, but I don't know which one. Any guesses there? 3, Demon Siege, Dawn of Worlds, Warlords, or Blade Warriors?
Siege.
Demon Siege.
Crap.
Onimusha, Warlords, Blade Warriors, or Dawn of Dreams. That smile doesn't really say Warlord to me.
I agree. I think one of the other 2.
Does it say Blade Warrior?
I think
or
it
Dawn?
does.
It does? Okay.
Uh-oh.
Life. Dang it, this stupid game's going to get us. I could use the one-time clue, but I really don't want to.
I mean, we got a 50% chance of getting this.
Risk it for the biscuit?
I feel like kind of. Yeah, I feel like.
So which ones have we tried? We did Blade Warriors and Demon Siege, huh? So we got Dawn of Dreams or Warlords. I think I would go with Dawn of Dreams, but I really have no idea. I just made the funny joke that he didn't look like a warlord, but if he ends up being a warlord...
My goodness.
Should we just use the clue?
Yeah.
Show me the clue. It was Warlords.
We would have lost.
Yeah, we would have. Wow. Well, I'm glad we used it then. Oh, and Warlords was tiny. Okay, well, that's 12 in a row, so we're doing all right. All right, can we guess a video game with only a portion of the cover unblurred? Definitely seeing some zombie hands.
Oh, man.
I don't think it's like Left 4 Dead, because those ones always had the hand without the thumb. It could be the game called Zombie or Zombie U. I think of other zombie games.
Dying Light?
There's Dying Light. What does that cover look like?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I don't think it looks like that. I'm going to try Zombie U if that's right. Zombie. Just continuing our... Oh, it's not on here. Wow. Continuing our Wii U vibe, but that's not it. Maybe it's... There's the one with the guy, he's in the mall that's infested. Dead Rising.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah. Dead Rising.
Oh boy.
We'll just do the first one. Nope. It's not that franchise. So that's kind of helpful. That is a weird looking zombie. What other zombie games are there? DayZ? I feel like that cover is like the back of somebody looking at a forest or something. Like a city next to a forest. There's one that's very like first person shooter, fast and violent. Killing Floor. I don't think that's that though. There's zombie games, are there? I mean, that looks like the main character like standing there up top, right? Like
yeah, I believe so.
In victory and glory above his prey. Any guesses? What
Evil Dead.
I think there's only been one Evil Dead video game, and it had...
Evil Dead really isn't zombies, though. If you've seen, like, the movies.
Yeah, there are some, but, like... I'm pretty sure the cover to the Evil Dead game didn't look like that.
What is Dawn of the Dead? What is that?
That's a movie, but maybe there was a game based on it. Dead. Nope. I feel like with one more block here, we'll get it. I mean, we could try... What was the one you said? DayZ or... I feel like you just said one. Evil Dead. Or did we say one before that?
I don't know. I'm completely lost on this one.
I don't know what the cover to Dead Nation looked like. There's also Dead Island. I don't think it's the first one. Or the second one, to be honest. It would have to be Riptide of those three, I think. We're just going to risk it, because I don't really know. Okay, it's not that either. Oh. Okay, I think I'm getting closer. I'm pretty sure this one was an Xbox exclusive. You could, like, deck out your car, and then with, like, zombie killing weapons, and then drive over them. But what was its name? I feel like it has Dead in the name somewhere. Dead.
Yeah, we might get there this way.
Dead or Alive, Dead Right. I tried it, Dead Rising, didn't I?
Yeah.
Dead Space, Dead to Rights, Dead Light, Deadly, Deadpool, Evil Dead, Left 4 Dead, Never Dead, Red Dead Redemption, Walking Dead. Maybe not. And I really don't want to miss this one. What do you look like, mister? Weird looking. Is there like a game called Outbreak? Or what are other zombie words? Outbreak, brains, zombie. Night. And I really don't know.
Yep, I am no help.
How many more guesses do we have? 2?
Yeah.
Okay. We tried Dead Island and Dead Rising. What was the... Like there was one other... We tried Dead Island Riptide, right? And Dead Rising. House of the Dead? I don't think that's it. That was Zombie. Was it just those? Yeah. I'm not sure. We're just gonna
like undead.
Ooh.
Or living.
Living.
Nope.
Daisy. I'm fairly certain it's not this, but I think we need one more spot and to get lucky.
Oh.
Well, we got a good spot. I was hoping for the letters, to be honest, but
I said like I was getting somewhere, and I don't know that I am. Oh, wait.
Epiphany.
Hmm.
I'm gonna keep searching zombie words until I. It's a tough one.
It is. I don't think I'm getting there.
All right, we'll risk it on. I don't even know a good one to test.
Both Left 4 Deads are just a hand.
I thought so, but maybe we try the first one.
I
feel like for sure the first one was. I don't know. What are other games like Left 4 Dead?
I feel like the title of this is going to be the name of that guy.
Jeff. What was the one that's like Left 4 Dead that just came out a couple of years ago that wasn't that great? It was
There was a newer Left 4 Dead that came out. Wasn't there?
Yeah, but it wasn't made by Valve. It was like made by somebody else trying to be like the next Left 4 Dead. Back 4 Blood?
Absolutely, I think that's it.
That was the name of the game?
I think so.
And you think that's this one? Oh, no.
Project Zomboid.
Wow, 2013 on Mac, Windows, and Linux. Well, no wonder we've never heard of this. I mean, look at this thing. Why is this game on the Gamedle?
I think I have seen this.
Oh, really?
So I think Clerky might have showed me this game.
Oh, maybe it was kind of like an indie popular game then.
Someone showed me this game.
Well, now you'll know.
Like in the last year, I think.
Really?
I think so.
And I was searching zombie. I just needed Zomboid. Well, we did pretty good. Streak of 12. Our max streak is 21. You were crushing it.
For a minute. Yeah, for a minute.
It was good. All right, well, that's going to do it for episode 55 of the podcast today. Thanks so much for watching, listening, checking out the Patreon at patreon.com/SuperGameBrothers, the giveaway at SuperGameBrothers.com. Make sure to check out Devin on Twitch at Player4 and TikTok at Player4TV. He's playing games there every weekday, having a blast. And yeah, I think that's it. So, Devin, any other plans for the rest of the evening?
Sleeping.
Yeah, I kept you here really late. I can't believe it's
Yoga.
already 10. You do yoga before bed?
I need to. My hips are. I'm feeling weird.
Your hips don't lie?
Kind of.
Yeah. All right. Well, see you next week, everybody. Adios.
Bye.